my name is Jenny Manno. Welcome to my channel. This week we are playing with charcoal and gesso. I have been experimenting and exploring and playing with this medium combination and having a blast. I hope you can join me. Lots of texture, lots of depth, lots of detail, or not. It's up to you. That's the beauty of charcoal and gesso. I'll see you in class. Hello, hello. Welcome to this week's How To Tuesday. I'm excited. This is one of the things that I played with a lot on my break, and I'm kind of totally digging how the effects are turning out. It kind of reminds me in a very low budget way of how when you work with color and paint and charcoal and stuff and you pour resin over it and then you put more layers and you pour more resin, it kind of gives that like very subtle transition where it looks a little translucent and the layers are frozen in time basically, and then you build. So, but what I'm going to do it with today is charcoal and white and clear gesso. That's it. Charcoal, white, and clear gesso. I have my Liquitex gesso and my white gesso and my clear gesso by Liquitex. And then I'm using, working on my Fabriano hot press 140 pound, which I have taped down to my board. And I use my Pro Artist tape. Can you guys read that? Pro Artist tape to tape it down. And then I have a few things here. I have my soft charcoal. It's General's Charcoal 4B Soft, and that's my favorite one. And then I have my white charcoal by General's. I also just grabbed a simple pencil. It's a number 2 HB pencil. And then I have my Tombow Mononoke eraser. And then I grabbed a couple brushes, very fluffy tips, one small, one medium, to help push around the charcoal. We're creating different textures now. We're not just going to use, oh, I should get a blending stump too. And I will grab a blending stump also. My other one's downstairs. So there'll be a few different ways to move charcoal around. I'll have some with my blending stump and then some with the brushes. They're both very different textures when they're depending on how you use it to push it around. And then I thought I would use, I have a few different tools here for pushing around the gesso and the white and clear gesso. The standard, you know, typical paint brushes. And then I have these fan brushes, and I thought they're pretty stiff. So I think I can get the stuff to move around. What's going to happen is when you go, oh, you're working in charcoal, you think, wow, isn't that going to smear? Yes, it is. It is going to smear, and that's what we're looking for. We're going to smear, draw, smear, paint, draw, smear, paint, draw. Okay, so, or paint, or so say, sorry, draw, paint. In the painting process, you'll smear, and then you'll go back and adjust, and then you'll paint again, and then you'll smear, and and we'll build. So remember I said the layers are subtle, but they're there. And then I'm just going to use my paper plate with tin foil to work with it. And then I have an eraser, just my black dustless eraser. And I also have my little satchel made with charcoal dust, which is super handy and picks up textures, which is what's going to create from these guys right here. These guys are definitely going to create textures. I'm going to put down a coat of the clear gesso first, dry it with my heat gun, and then we'll draw on top of it. And I do want texture. I do want to play with texture. So I'm not going to make it super like smooth and flatten all the lines and everything. I definitely am. I'm going to use my fan brush to do it. So I'm going to situate, and then I'll be right back and we will get started. If you like what you're seeing and you're enjoying How To Tuesdays, please like and subscribe and click that bell. Also, if you enjoy a full real-time version, oh, that's the one thing with this charcoal powder is that it gets everywhere. I just had a little tiny bit on my hand and it smudged, but that's okay. We're making a mess with charcoal anyways. But beware. As I was saying, if you're enjoying the How To Tuesdays and you prefer a real-time version, I have the real-time How To Tuesdays on my Patreon channel. I would be honored if you would go check it out and see what it is I have to offer. I have tons of, depending on what tier, I have tons of video tutorials and information and classes and all that kind of stuff. So I'd be honored if you went and checked it out. Okay, let me clean up and then we'll get started. Okay, so I started to put down a layer and I forgot to hit the camera. So, oh. Well, now there's blue somewhere. I don't even know where that blue came from. But guess what? It's staying. I think it's from I filmed a sketchbox unboxing for my Patreon channel. And there must have been blue somewhere on either this brush or on the board. That stuff, it was a, what's it called? ink or watercolor powder, pigmented powder, which is very pigmented, and it gets everywhere. The colors are crazy insane, but the pigment, man, does that get everywhere. I'm just putting little drops on my paper. Remember, I just want textures. I don't want it like, oh, it's nice and pretty and smooth and perfect. We're here for abstract. Okay, I'm gonna gently pick that up and put it in my water. As I was saying, we're here for abstract portraits, my friends. No cleanliness allowed right now. So I'm gonna dry this and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. That was fun, huh? These brushes, I will say, these fan brushes, man, do they hold a lot of water. Okay, so I'm gonna pick up my, you can if you want. I'm gonna challenge you not to. You can start with the graphite first, but because this is gonna be so smudgy and messy and fabulous, I'm just gonna go straight in with chalk or charcoal. Last week I was so inspired with my pen pastels and all the chalk, and I'm obsessed with chalk and my charcoal or my pen pastels and my chalk pastel pencils, that this is just another arena of that, so I thought, why not? And since I've been playing with it, it's gonna get all smudgy, you guys, so be brave. Go for it. Just laying in some thick or thin little lines. Nothing too, I already know, see the textures it's picking up? Fabulous, fabulous. In my head, I know I'm gonna, the cool part is, mess it up, I'm gonna smudge. Ooh, look at that, it's already smudging. Yes. I needed to center her nose a little bit. So fun. I love that this always makes me, they're just so happy, right? When their eyes are like that. But I have to draw in the eyes. I just have to. It gives me the feels, I tell you. People, is it just me, or do you guys always draw one pupil bigger than the other? I always do. I cannot help it. I can't. I know this is all going to be smudged, so I'm not being super precious. This whole thing I'm not going to be super precious with. And we're building layers upon layers. You can decide to set the jawline now if you want. Totally digging these sweet little cherub faces these days. Loose hairline. Super fun and loose. Notice where I'm holding the pencil. I've got my hand towards the back. Okay, here we go. I'm going to put some on here. Remember, we're going to smear and build, smear and build, smear and build. I'm going to grab the smaller one that I have. You guys, you can do this with regular paintbrush too. I just thought I would play. I might not use it the whole time. I don't know if I want to wet this. Try not to keep your brush too wet. Look at the magic that's happening. The way your brush strokes go dictates which way the charcoal is going to move. Don't be afraid. This is just the one of several layers. And then we'll dry in between. But look, it's already, there's more of that blue. Maybe it's on the palette. What the heck? Okay, don't want to remove too much. Well, actually, I don't mind, truthfully. Now I'm gonna clean my brush, dry this, and go in for round 2. especially in the dark, dark, dark parts. That's where the magic is. Dark, dark, dark parts. Oh, I like that. I'm going very soft because I can just black it out if I don't like it, but I like how that turned out. I didn't lose the nose bridge, and I still have, let me come back in with some more white, just to make it pop a little more. I don't mind the sketchiness. In fact, I actually really like the sketchiness. I like it a lot. Okay, now I'm done. Now I'm done. All right, you guys, I will see you next week. Bye.